morning, everybody. This is Brittany at Big Cat Rescue. We are in Tampa, Florida, and it's a beautiful morning. Hi, Frankie. I wanted to come show you Frankie. Hi, sweet boy. Hi. Frankie's waiting in his feeding lockout for breakfast. Hi. Nope, I don't want your tail. It's a cute tail. Morning, Karen and Nora and Lori. Nope, there he goes. You guys know his morning routine. Well, it looks like he got a cute little tube or something for enrichment yesterday. Well, we'll see if we can chase him, but he's gonna do his normal back and forth, back and forth. Frankie! Hi, cutie pie. Hey, what are you doing? Good morning, Danielle. Yeah, I really love the sound of the birds here too. When I started walking, I was like, oh, it's just so nice. Good morning, Janny and Leanne. Good morning, everybody. This is Frankie Bobcat. All ready for breakfast. This is his extra feeding lockout. We actually feed him in the other one, but this is the one where he can see the keepers coming right away. Hi. Oop, I'm getting blinded by the sun. Good morning, Marianne. Hey, Michael. Hi, cutie. You're too busy in the morning. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up. Good morning, Diana. Sweet little Frankie. If you guys come here on a tour, Frankie's usually the first one you might see. Although he's calmed down so much that after he gets breakfast, he just pretty much spends the day in his giant den. Yeah, it's a beautiful morning here in Tampa, Florida. We're a lot cooler as of right now. It's going to get warmer as the day goes on. We are in the mid-70s. Good morning, Cynthia. Oh, there he goes, back to the other side. Little twitchy tail. So much twitching. Drive by. All right, I'm not gonna chase you back over there. Good morning, Debbie. Yep, that's what he's gonna do. All right, we'll walk back down and see Mr. Apollo. Bob, we're located in Tampa, Florida. If you're new to us, we are one of the world's largest accredited sanctuaries. We have just under 70 permanent residents on 67 acres of land. We're accredited by the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, and they hold you to a great standard, which is no buying, selling, trading, breeding, or touching any of the animals. This is Apollo. Apollo is a Siberian lynx. He is up on top of his giant den. You can see kind of down below there, there's a little window. He can go down into that den. But right now he's excited because breakfast is coming. I think that question was what part of Tampa, Florida? We are in the Citrus Park area. Good morning, Jenna. Apollo makes some pretty interesting noises in his old age. He was born in 1997. He was part of some of our original fur farm rescues. Oh, I got you, Bob. Yep. You're in the Citrus Park, Tampa, Florida area. Hello. Good morning, Nicole. Hi, Diana. If you guys are just joining, we just hung out with Frankie Bobcat for a couple of minutes. Good morning, Karen. What are you doing? This is Apollo. He is a Siberian lynx. Learn all of our cats, all of their backstories, their birth dates at bigcatrescue.org/catbio. And I see another little friend out. There's Mr. Running Bear. Hi, Bear. Figured I would take a little walk down the outer strip today and show you some of those cats. Hi. Hi, Bear. Oh, I know. He'd never tell you, but him and I actually have a pretty good relationship. He's one of my operant conditioning cats. You're full of it, aren't ya? You're full of it. I know. So he gets pretty talkative, but his talking sounds pretty aggressive usually. Good morning, Deb. This is Running Bear. I've got so much to say. So much to say. Running Bear is a bobcat. He's a very old bobcat. I know. You are so silly. Oh, you hear the feeding cart. You can hear Mike, one of the keepers, coming. Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. Yeah, he'd never admit it, but him and I actually do have a good relationship. So funny. I was assigned operant cats almost 2 years ago now at this point. And Running Bear, Nabisco, Mrs. Claus, and Smalls are my assigned cats. But little White Dove also was, and when she passed away, I sort of adopted Gilligan. Hi. Hi, Gilligan. Hi, sweet boy. Now, Gilligan is a Canada lynx. Yeah. So you can see he looks quite a bit different than Apollo did, yet he is also still a lynx, totally different environments and areas. You can see they all have the short tail because lynx are the larger cousin of a bobcat. Bobcats all have short tails, and so do lynx. Are they coming to feed you soon? So you guys might be getting confused. The first cat we saw was Frankie, and he was a bobcat. Second cat we saw was Apollo. He was a Siberian lynx. Third cat we saw was Running Bear. He's a bobcat. And this guy that you're looking at right here is Gilligan, and he is a Canada lynx. They are cousins, they are related, but lynx are a lot larger than bobcats. They also have pretty much a black tail all the way around like that. Bobcats have a white stripe under their tail. And they all have the cute ear tufts. Yeah. Patricia, I no longer follow the feeders, and the reason for that is I'm a bit too much of a distraction, and food time is too important for them to be distracted. I've had too many instances where I'm following the feeders and the cat eats too fast and starts to choke and throw it up, and or they are more interested in me, so they only pay attention to me instead of eating. So I really don't actually follow the feeders or show them eating very often. The other reason I don't follow the keepers in the morning is because this is the time when most of the interns and keepers are getting their sign-offs and they're in training. And sticking them on a live with hundreds of people watching can make some people nervous. Let's go say hi to Miss Nala. But the reason I walk around first thing in the morning before food time is because our lives in the afternoon can be pretty boring because everybody's asleep. Hi, Nala. Oh, are you gonna be hissy? Yes. Say that's my personality. Hi, lady. Hi, gorgeous. Hi, pretty lady. Yeah, so this is Nala. Nala is an African serval. Yes, and that is the serval hello there. They are notoriously hissy. I know. She is beautiful. She's very spunky. She's a great hunter. Always going after lizards and frogs and birds. Pretty lady. Most of the cats are pretty much smart enough to realize that I didn't bring the food, so they'll give me a little attention and then they'll walk away. I don't know if I've ever heard Nala make noises other than hissing, to be honest. She does have one of the best tails. Let me see if she's very active with it. She's constantly flicking it around. I always tell her it's her raccoon tail. She has a little raccoon tail, very fluffy. Yeah, that's great, Nancy. Yeah, it's very intimidating in the beginning to learn all the cats when you've got just under 70 cats and all this space, learning where they are. As you see me walking around, sometimes you'll start to realize, oh, I remember Gilligan's neighbor, or and I am on foot. Sorry, I'm messing with the gate here. Does Frosty do the serval hello in his new area when keepers come in? So Frosty is one of our oldest cats. He's also an African serval, and he's pretty far along in kidney disease, and he was no longer thriving in his outdoor enclosure. So he got moved into the recovery hospital, and I have never gone in there, so I can't speak from my own personal experience, but he is on a camera, and I know a lot of people have been watching him and taking screenshots of that. So you'd have to watch that to know for sure. Jackie, I keep the focus on the cats. I'm not a big selfie person. I don't think that's what I'm here for, is to show you guys my face. But you can go to facebook.com/Brittany Mira BCR if you want to see me. I have a public page. You guys can follow all of my big cat adventures and a lot of my photography. Hi! Oh, I thought you were going to be in a great place. There we go. This is Survey. Survey is also an African serval. You don't see her very often. She's also out waiting for breakfast. I did this a few weeks ago where I helped feed in the morning, and then I didn't come back out until after breakfast, and there was hardly anyone out for us to see. So that's why we go around first thing in the morning. Survey. Hello, Tammy. Thanks for joining. I don't really see Baby Cakes that much either. Baby Cakes is an African genet that lives on property. He basically has been taken over by Afton. So she'd be the one that could tell you a lot more about him. All right, are we that thrilling? How about we go say hi to your neighbor real quick? Actually, Afton and Barb and Karma are the ones that take care of Baby Cakes. Hi, this is Sheena. Oh. Sheena is also an African serval. If you guys are just joining, this is Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. We're one of the world's largest accredited sanctuaries for abandoned, abused, neglected, and private ownership big cats. Well, that's what she thought of that. Sorry, I woke up feeling a little bit of allergies this morning. I think because it finally cooled down below 80. And Now I've got a little bit of a scratchy throat. So the reason we have a lot of servals here is because they're small, and people for some reason think because they're small they'd make a great pet. Well, you gotta see this. This is Ginger. Hi, Ginger. Ginger loves her coolaroo. Yes, we are open to the public every day but Thursdays. You can come on guided educational tours here and learn all about the cats. Hi, Gigi. Go to bigcatrescue.org/tickets for information on visiting here. And if you want to donate to the cats, you can do that right here on the Facebook live feed, or you can go to bigcatrescue.org/donate. No, we have not had any escapes here. We've got way too many safety protocols in place. There are many, many locks and doors on all of these enclosures, and very few people that can get into them. Hi! Well, that was a precious little moment. And that's our sign that we'll keep walking. I think I spot Riza. That's actually who I really wanted to come see. So let me get through this gate here. Wanted to check in on Riza. Yeah, I'm really glad I got to meet you yesterday, Karen, and that you had such a great experience. Here's Miss Riza. Hi. Goodness. Goodness. You can keep drinking your water. If I sneeze. Looks like she's gonna work up a sneeze. Are you sneezing? This is Miss Riza. Where are you going? She didn't want to come out for her meds this morning, but it looks like she's out now. You can see she got shaved down. She was struggling to groom. You can see that nice little puff of hair on the end there. Super cute. She had kept her feet and her tail and her head fur. So we gave her a little lion cut, but she is a mountain lion. Where are you going? Unfortunately, she's at a horrible angle where it's nothing but wire that direction. Hi, sweetness. Hi, baby girl. You can see her cute little booties. So she is 23 years old, and it has been very difficult for her to groom. So she was completely covered in mats. So she did have to go into the hospital and get a nice little haircut. Hi. You can hear Hutch, another serval behind me. Hi, baby girl. Hi. Rawr. Rawr. Gonna lay down. Yep, she's one of our oldest cats here. She also had a horrible declaw when she was a cub. Declawing your cat means that you're essentially getting rid of the first top digit of your own hand. And cats actually walk on the tips of their toes. So when you remove it, it really causes a lot of health issues long term. Is she bringing you breakfast? She came out. She must be hungry. Yeah.
To Maya first, she was still sleeping.
Say, I'm sleeping in. It's Monday. It's Monday. So MC is one of our master keepers, and she is going to feed Riza. She's ready.
You coming? Come on, Riza.
There you go. She does look like she's wearing Uggs. Call them her little mittens. So we're not going to go all the way back because, like I mentioned earlier, when I follow the cats for feeding, a lot of times they get a little too worked up. go. Making her way over. So in order to become a master keeper, you actually have to have been a senior keeper for 4 years, or you have to have come up in through the internship program quickly. And so I am still a few years short from even being qualified. It's not something you can apply for. You have to actually so what MC just did is she put her medication in first so that she could eat it. Now she has to get her back out of lockout, close the door, put the rest of her food in, and then she'll come back in for the rest of it. All right, so we're gonna let her do that, but we will pop over and see if Miss Maya Hi, Miss Maya. Hi, baby girl. You all done with breakfast? It's a cougar drinking water kind of a morning. This is Maya. I think I totally blanked and stopped talking the rest of my sentence there, but anyway, to become a master keeper, you actually have to be invited to do that after you have been here for the certain amount of time allotted. Miss Maya. So if you guys are just joining, this is Maya Cougar at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. She just finished up breakfast. See where she's gonna go, see if she wants to lay somewhere cute where we can hang for her for a second. We started out, we've kind of just walked down the strip, the outer strip of the sanctuary. So we started out with Frankie, Bobcat. Then we saw Apollo, our Siberian lynx, Running Bear, another bobcat. We saw Gilligan, a Canadian lynx, and then we saw Nala, an African serval. Hey, Robin. She likes to rub, which is kind of helpful to us because she won't get a lot of matting around her neck because she likes to rub right there on the edge of the wire, and it kind of brushes her. So we saw Nala, and then we saw Survey, Ginger, Sheena, and a little snippet of Cricket, all servals. People think they can have servals as pets because they are so small and cute when they're first born. There's Maya. Hi. Yep, Gilligan's growing in his winter fur. This is Miss Maya. Notice a big difference between my summer photos of Gilligan, our Canadian lynx, versus winter. He puffs up times 3. Morning, Robin. Welcome, Debbie. Thank you for joining me. That is Beecher and Hutch having a conversation back and forth behind me. Yeah, pretty much any of the thick fur northern cats get really skinny in the summer and then really fluffy in the winter. Exactly, it's because it's a very cold environment. All right, Miss Maya, we'll let you get back to your bath. So after they eat breakfast, they groom for a while. There's Sundari chasing Lauren. Good morning, Ann. Beach boy, what are you doing? Come
making sure we heard you. You did real good. Did very good. Good morning, Christy.
I heard a radio call that Cameron was in the roof section laying against the side, so I'm assuming Catherine was heading out there to try to feed him. I'm on foot and he's on the other end of the sanctuary, so I won't be able to make it out there. Beecher is a Savannah cat. And that little call that you just heard, that's Diablo, another Savannah cat. So silly. So here's Sundari. Sundari got moved to Funcation. Funcation's a 22,000 square foot enclosure where the cats get to go for 2 weeks at a time. I was hoping she's coming out the other side. She disappeared.
Where'd you go? Oh, you're right there. Hi. Looks like she's peeing. Is that spot yours?
Let's see if she comes back around. She's probably pretty tuckered. She's over 21 years old, and I just watched her chase Lauren down the side of the cage as she went by on a golf cart. So that's plenty of exercise for today. I think I saw somebody mention Natalia earlier. Natalia's doing fine. No, Felicia, we did not start out with Seth today.
Hi, Sunny.
Try to give everybody
Their time in the limelight. Hey, Sunbun. Where are you going now? Where are you going now?
So today we started out, we've seen Frankie, Apollo, Running Bear. We saw Gilligan. Saw quite a few of our servals. We saw Riza and Maya, Beecher, and now Sundari.
What you doing, lady?
So Sundari is a leopard. If you guys are new to us, you should definitely check out all of the cat bios. bigcatrescue.org/cat bio. It gives you everybody's birth date, rescue date, and backstory, as well as lots of videos or anything that has happened in the hospital with any of these cats. I have a bicycle, but frankly, I'm not that talented. No, Dawn, we're a no touching facility. Touching them would be rude. These guys are wild animals, be dangerous. It'd put their life at risk, because if they were to hurt you, they'd be put down and tested for rabies.
Here she goes.
So MC is coming over with her breakfast. So you can watch her stalk MC. Here I go. So you can see the box that is on the outside of the much larger cage. That's what we call feeding lockout. She will put the food safely in while the door is closed. And once it's all in, she can lift the door, and then Sunny will have breakfast. We can stay as long as she doesn't scarf. That's the main reason I don't follow the feeders. It never fails that they eat too fast and puke it back up every time. And breakfast is too important for me to be a distraction, so. So it looks like she's getting chicken and red, a beef, and mush, which is basically a whole ground diet. It's the full animal. And have a good day, Karen. Thank you. Either way is fine. Thank you. Nikki, I don't know what you mean wires so hand-fed. We don't hand-feed the cats. We toss the food in and then safely lift the lockout door. No, cats have sensory glands all over their body, but especially their faces and their feet. So they claw, they pee, and they rub on everything that they're marking as theirs. That's a very nice way of her saying, I look cute, but this is my side of the fence. Now we do stick feed some of the cats, but that's a very long, thick wooden stick with a point on the end, and we put the meat on the end and feed them that way. It's also how we do operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is a training program where we reward the cats for natural behaviors that we would want them to do, such as coming over to the side when we call them, laying down, coming into the feeding lockout, and actually being closed in there so that we can put flea medication on them. The vets can take a good close look at them if needed. Good morning, Michelle and Marlene. If any of you are just joining, we've been live for a little while. We've seen quite a few cats already. We are at Sundari Leopard, who's having breakfast right now. How does Mrs. Claus do with operant? So that's a fun story. She's been my operant cat for almost 2 years. And really she only does it about 50% of the time. A lot of times she will come running over to me as soon as she sees me, and she'll check out the food that I have, but she really only likes to eat first thing in the morning. So if I do operant with her first thing in the morning, she does great. If I try to do it later in the afternoon, she's like, no thanks, I'm full. But she actually does really well. She'll come over to me, she'll go into lockout, she will lay down as well, but she doesn't stay down for very long. Mrs. Claus was a failed rehab. She is a native Florida bobcat that was being rehabbed for release, but we're pretty sure she had a brain injury or some other defects that didn't make her fully capable of surviving in the wild. And so what Sundari's in right now is her feeding lockout. It's just a box that is extended on the outside of her much larger enclosure here. And there's an extra layer of thin chicken wire on the outside there, and that is because of vultures and birds that try to intimidate and steal food. Scavengers.
All right, good girl, Sunbun. Almost a clean plate.
So if any of you guys are just joining and you've missed a lot of this feed, you can always go back and watch them from the beginning. They post automatically on our Facebook page and facebook.com/wildcatwalkabout. How many pounds of food do the cats eat each day? Well, our veterinarians are the ones that pay very close attention to what the cats get from day to day. They get a variety of meat every day. So from day to day, they'll get chicken or pork or turkey. Some get bones. The ones that don't have the dental capabilities do not, and they have special diets that we cut up for them. But it varies on species and age and other dietary issues. There's Mr. Manny on his platform. But the most food that probably anyone gets would be some of our tigers will get up to 12 pounds of food a day. Laurel, I heard something about pumpkins, but I'll be totally honest, nobody has officially told me for sure what's happening with that. This is Manny stalking MC, who's not actually the one feeding him, so he's very offended right now. And that's correct, Michelle. If for some reason the cats do not eat everything, We do collect that food, and it goes back to food prep, and we weigh it and we chart it, and that goes straight to the vet. Oh yeah, I've heard of that horrible place in Myrtle Beach. Definitely not one that I would support. Hi. And if you notice, we don't even exist because we didn't have the food. So this is Manny Jaguar. He's our only Jaguar. He is actually fed by Jamie during the week. So when he sees the other feeders out and about, they get stalked quite a bit, but
You know that you're not fed by them. You're not. Hi. Oh, now do we exist? Sort of. Just a little bit.
so if you guys are just joining, we've pretty much walked the perimeter of the sanctuary from Frankie all the way down to Manny. I haven't witnessed him play with the barrel or do anything with it other than the fact that it's not in the same place where they originally put it in. And somebody yesterday when I was here volunteering told me that he tried to move it into the den or towards the den, but it's way too big to go in his den, so you know him, he's something else. I think Catherine is the only one currently that has been working on operant conditioning with Manny. You can hear the keepers that are over. Armani moved this past week over into Riza's old enclosure. She's very much enjoying it. She's almost always on top of that hill. When Hollies come back from vacation, they will be building her a nice big platform in there as well. This is Cindy and Abby feeding Armani. Yeah, she very much likes to lay on top of the hill that Riza liked to lay on. So she's adjusting pretty good. Yes, this is Armani Leopard. So Armani is notorious for scarfing her food and then throwing it back up. So the keepers make sure that they spread her food out, fill the entire plate, and make it take a little bit longer for her to eat. Armani does not act her age. She's over 21 years old. You're only seeing the part of the enclosure that actually fits on my camera screen. Go to bigcatrescue.org/cages to learn about how our cages are designed. The smaller box that is attached to her much larger enclosure that goes all the way to the end there, that is just her feeding lockout. That is just the area she knows she can come for food and fresh water. And it also helps the keepers and the vet staff get a really good close look at the cats. Feeding time is our best time to observe the cats because they stay in one spot and they're focused on food. The keepers can walk completely around the cat and get a good look at everything, feet, tail, backside, belly even. And then they can pay attention to how they're chewing. Are they chewing on both sides? It's our best time to really keep a close eye on these cats, and then anything they observe will be put into the cat's chart that goes straight to the vet team. All right, yay! So we are going to end this feed with Nikita. See if Nikita is still in the feeding area or if she made her way back out. Looks like she made her way back out. So once again, if you guys have just joined in, we've been live for quite a while. We started up front with Frankie, worked our way all the way back. Well, let's see where she is. She's been, okay, we gotta walk the other way. She's been hanging out in the roof section, kind of tucked back in the palmettos. And that is where she is. So we're gonna go see her. She's actually in a good place. We should be able to just sit and talk to her for a few minutes. So if there were any questions that were asked that I missed, as soon as I get over to Nikita and get situated, feel free to ask again. I'm usually only watching the cat or where I'm walking when I'm out here close to the cats, so I may miss things that you ask. I do go back to my desk and usually spend a good hour or more going through the comments and reaching out to you, answering questions.
There's our lady. Knick-knack.
She loves to be back here in this little palmetto area.
Hi, sweetness. Can we hang with you for a minute? Hi. You can stay right there. Oh, you don't have to come over. You didn't have to come over.
So this is Nikita Lioness. She is the largest cat we have on property. Big sweetie pie, but super scary also.
Here we go. Now we're resettled. All right, I come over here. Hi, sweetness. Hi.
You're a very good girl. Thank you for posting her link. Most of our cats are bigcatrescue.org/their name, but she is Nikita-3. There's a lot of people named Big Cats Nikita.
So we've had a couple. Let's see, where can I put it? There we go. There we go, lady.
Yep, she at last check was 500 pounds, but we only get an accurate weight for them anytime that they go into the hospital. Lucky for us, Nikita's been a very healthy, good girl.
You do have one palmetto right in the way, don't ya? Can I move this way? Let's try. Hi. That's a big smile. That's a very big smile, girl.
Linda, she's scary at other times. When you're this close in person, any little move she makes can kind of be like, ooh, are you happy? Are you mad? What's happening? But I've felt very blessed and lucky that she has been pretty good with me. Yeah, such a big girl. Got her little crossed feet here because unfortunately she was declawed. She does lay with her feet folded like that.
You kind of put us in a weird spot with this palmetto lady.
You kind of did. All right, everybody. Well, if anybody has any last minute questions. Ginger, yeah, Nikita does actually like my husband. My husband's a senior keeper out here as well. She has not been seen officially getting on her hammock yet. Nope. There's a clip that Suzanne caught, I believe. I apologize if it was somebody else, but one little snippet of her putting her big paw right on top of the hammock, but never officially got on it.
Did they bring you more? I don't think so.
Yeah, for some reason, there's not too many cats here that are really aggressive with my husband Mark. Although Andy, Tiger, actually used to be a little tricky with him. And even Hoover, but Hoover's temperamental with everybody. He's been that way from the beginning, so. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. Sorry she kind of turned away from us a little bit. But you guys can watch any of the cats that are on camera 24/7 at bigcatcams.com. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We are Big Cat Rescue on Instagram. And you know Afton, always putting out 1 to 2 videos a week for bigcattv.com. So thank you guys very much for joining. Thank you to everybody who shared this feed. That helps us reach other people. And make sure you watch this from the beginning. You'll see a lot of bobcats and lynx and servals and cougars and leopards and Manny, and we ended with Nikita. So today was a big one.
Hi. What are you doing? You gonna say bye to everybody? Bye, Knick-Knack.
All right, everybody. I hope you all have an awesome Monday, and I will probably see you again soon. Take care, everybody.